there was lots of stuff that my body never responded to, right? My body never responded to meditation increasing sleep performance at night. Acupuncture, acupressure, reflexology, those things never really resonated with my body. So those were all practices I kind of let go to the wayside, where like self-massage or trigger point massage all have resonated very well. Like those are things that my body does respond to.
So what would an ideal pre-sleep or pre-rest routine look like for you now?
One of the things that I do on a regular basis before I try to lay down, I make sure I'm not looking at screens. And I don't look at screens for two reasons. One, I do believe there's something to the whole, blue light effect on stimulating the brain. But more importantly, I don't want to get my brain into a position where it is starting to absorb new information in the last 90 minutes of the day. Because the brain only has two switches, right? It's either learning something new or it's indexing something that it's already learned. Well, the whole idea behind sleep is to let sleep be a period where you're indexing. So the last thing I want to do is supercharge my brain with things that it's learned new right before bed. So I don't want to read the news. I don't want to scroll through social media. I don't want to be, I don't even read a book before bed because I don't want to instigate any new creative thoughts in those last 90 minutes.
That's interesting. And by the way, I have a different approach. Even though I, like you, avoid blue light due to the suppression of melatonin and sleep drive, I will often study either a problem that I want to solve, such as re-reviewing an email about some problem during the day I haven't yet solved, or read a book that isn't super stimulating, but typically involves, something like self-improvement, sometimes a book that's got new and interesting information in it that I then want to consolidate during sleep, relying on the old adage, to sleep on something, that allow your brain to kind of tick into problem-solving mode while you're asleep. So although I'm very careful with stimulation, social media, checking for new emails, right? Like letting the world push new information to me versus information I've self-selected that I want present when I'm going to sleep. I still am okay with presenting myself with information prior to sleep that I actually want my brain to subconsciously work on during sleep.
So I don't think we're that different actually then, because where you're self-selecting business and personal growth concepts that you're going to take with you into that indexing phase, because your indexing phase is also the phase where new neural links are created and disparate ideas are also subconsciously connected all through sleep. That makes total sense. For me, because I have two young children, I think what I've come into the habit of is those last 90 minutes of the day are really spent with them. So then I get the neural connections, I get the memory boost, I get the connection satisfaction of basically taking my wife and my children as the final things with me to bed. So I get to retain those memories. I get to retain those moments. Plus I get to build that relationship with my family in a closer way right before bedtime, which is doing the same thing for all of them, right? It's permanizing or cementing memories with dad for my 7-year-old daughter and memories with dad for my 11-year-old son and memories with children and bedtime routines with my wife. So we're having similar benefits, but using it in a different way. Not new information, but information that I am prioritizing as something I want to retain.